It's all about balance. For every hour spent inside on the internet, you should also spend an hour outside. We are live here at the University of Tennessee, where the Lady Vols will be taking on LSU Tigers, and where the Big Orange Country is going pink, raising awareness to breast cancers all East Tennesseans. Instead of rolling on the river, I'll be rolling in the mountains tonight with this Tina Turner costume on. I wonder if I'll find my Ike. Never know. The FDA has yet to approve the new anti-inflammatory drug Briana, but many are worried because those who need the drug are young adults suffering from asthma. Work began today here on the Case Cove Loop, and there's already not much road to be reopened. George Thomas said it was none of his business, but a Hamilton County jury in fact felt it was his business, indicting him on all 38 counts, ranging from rape all the way to felony murder. Thomas is the third of four defendants to stand trial for the 2007 slayings of Shannon Christian and Christopher Newsom, and is now the third convicted. The guilty verdict was rendered even after there was no forensic evidence linking Thomas to the crime spree. But the jurors heard Thomas's very own tape confession of being at the house on Shipman Street and seeing both victims blindfolded. And for the prosecutors, no DNA, no problem.
The only reason Shannon and Chris were killed, if you think about it, is because they could identify their attackers.
After the verdict was read by the jury, the mother and aunt of convicted murderer George Thomas left the courtroom and declined to speak to the media. As for the victims' families, they are grateful for the guilty verdict and are hoping for the death penalty.
They raped and tortured my daughter. And I hope, if there is a God in heaven, that they spend whatever days they have left on this earth being raped and tortured.
The main objective was getting him off of the street so he'd never do this to someone else.
Stay tuned for more in-depth trial coverage here at WBLT Volunteer TV News.
The house is filled with feces and urine. There's at least over a foot of feces throughout each room in the house.
A tip claiming possible animal cruelty led police to this home in South Knoxville. When officials arrived, what they found is breathtaking.
It's repulsive, it's disgusting, it's sickening that not only that the dogs have been living in that, but that people have been living in that as well.
Several dozens of dogs were removed from this home on Martin Mill Road. Also inside was 64-year-old Glenda Marie Kegels, who has been charged with felony animal cruelty. Authorities say she will be charged separate counts for each dog.
Owners just didn't care to clean up. They didn't bother to spay or neuter their pets, keep their pets up to health. It's neglect.
Knoxville Animal Control have been working for 5 hours now, pulling dogs out of this home. This dog makes number 70. Young Williams Animal Center is where the dogs were taken.
We're unloading a good many of them out here into these kennels behind us. We've got cages set up in hallways. We don't necessarily have the space for these animals, but we've made space.
Tim Adams also says that some of the dogs will be euthanized.
Skin and bones, and one of them even came in deceased. So, there's some of them in very, very rough shape.
After crews finished up for the day, 5 more dogs were rescued. 2 dogs are missing after running away, and 4 are dead, totaling 75 dogs confiscated from this South Knoxville home. Reporting for WVLT, I'm Briana Cooper. UT senior Michael Bob Blakely is preparing to become a teacher when he graduates from UT.
Really, teaching is the only thing I've ever consistently wanted to do. It's held on pretty well throughout my time growing up.
Bob Blakely is majoring in philosophy, but still hopes to land a teaching position.
The kicker was, in philosophy, you don't have a choice but to teach. So it just happened that the major I chose, and the only major I've enjoyed, happened to be one that demanded I do the only thing I've enjoyed doing as a career anyway.
Students at UT major in a subject area and then take relevant education courses. Associate Professor Amy Bromell says licensing is required to become a teacher in Tennessee.
In order to get licensed from the state, they have to do a year-long internship program in elementary ed. So their requirements are that they pass the background check when they're admitted, and if they go into Knox County, they pass a drug test. In our program, you would have to apply to be admitted to our program. There's an admission board that you would meet in front of if you had a cumulative 2.7 GPA and if you passed a speech and hearing screening.
In light of more recent issues involving teachers nationwide, there is now a review committee assessing Knox County hiring procedures. Important decisions to hire or fire teachers are made just behind this door. Dr. Kathy Sims, Executive Director of Human Resources for Knox County Schools, says the procedures are rigorous.
Nothing has changed with our procedure and how we go through the hiring process, the employment process from beginning to end. There have been committees of the review team that has met to review our procedures and to make any recommendations for defining those procedures for more efficiency.
As for recommendations, Paul Blakely has a few of those already in mind.
Passion for the subject is huge, and an ability to actually communicate on a level with the students, which is another thing I've not seen a lot of, including at college.
Ashley Manis is not your typical 14-year-old. Although she likes to draw in her coloring book and enjoys watching wrestling, Manis has a disadvantage that majority of teens do not.
She was hurt when she was 4 in a car accident. She's paralyzed from the neck down. She has a trach. Really can't move anything. She was C1, C2 injury.
Just last month, Ashley was dropped from her TennCare coverage. She is a part of a group called the Daniels Class, who told her that she wouldn't have to worry about an annual